All right, chat. Good evening. Hope we're doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Sorry about the slight delay in getting started up there. Just a few final things to get in order before we're able to go ahead. This flight, as some of you may know if you've watched the stream before when we've done this flight, it's pretty intense procedure to sort of put together and do properly, as we like to do on the channel. So yeah, just a little bit more preparation than your normal sort of flight here, but it is going to be worth it, chat. I promise it's going to be really exciting. I do enjoy this this flight. It's yeah, super scenic and quite frankly just absolutely unbelievable. It's one of the most amazing approaches I've ever done in the sim, if not the most. So yeah, although having said that, I've still never done Paro. So, yeah, we'll see. Welcome to the chat anyway, guys. I hope we're doing well today. Tus, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. The livery was from, it's just the Phoenix, from the Phoenix livery manager. MPS Gaming, welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well today. One big flappy boy. Thank you very much, dude. That is a nice name also, dude. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. And Darren, welcome to the chat. Welcome. All right, so today, chat, what we're going to be doing is, as you may have guessed if you've looked at the video description, we are going to be flying from Islamabad over to Skardu, a very small village up in the Himalaya, and yeah, a little village where a lot of people start their treks out to big mountains, mainly K1. It's sorry, not K1, K2. Yeah, so a lot of people go there to start the trek out to K2, and yeah, obviously a lot of other large mountains in the surrounding area like Nanga Parbat and various others. So it's a very scenic flight, as you can imagine, and we're going to be flying into, like I said, Skardu. There's only one approach you can do into Skardu that's authorized in an A320, and that is the runway 14 circling approach, and it's a visual maneuver, as the title of this stream suggests. You do actually have to commence VFR flight from a fixed name of CapMe, which we'll go into a little bit later on, and you descend on down from about 27,500 feet is the usual altitude they would descend on down from, just visually through a valley and then down into the very narrow valley of Skardu. Then you would do a full circling approach. It's not really a circling approach, it's more like a traffic pattern over the airport, but you'll see what I mean. We do have a very rough chart, which we'll look at later on, but I do actually have a full briefing package directly from Pakistan International Airways. It is a little bit old now, but it is the full package that obviously they would give to their pilots. I found it a little while ago, and it is yeah, it's really useful actually for flying this route. So we'll go through that, and yeah, it should be great fun. So, just before we go any further, though, big shout out to the channel members. So, we've got the commentator, Andy Ivy, on their gold memberships, Alistair Knott with his platinum, George Lumpkin on silver, Lawrence DK on silver, and Chris Schutz, of course, with his platinum on 4 months there. So, thank you very much for your continued support there, guys. And yeah, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Oh, the commentators in the chat. Hello from Crete. Amazing, dude. How is Crete? You having a nice time? Welcome indeed. Hope you're having a nice time indeed. Yeah. All right, but best not. Need to not forget about my brew here. Right then, chats. So then, let's have a look. Here we are at Islamabad, as you can see. A little bit hazy, but clear skies, and the sun is just rising here. This is not live time, as you may well have guessed. This is just a little bit earlier on, so 6:16 local time, 1:16 UTC. Now, this flight actually takes place. It departs at about 2 a.m. UTC, or at least it did today. I'm not sure if they vary the times depending on the weather. Obviously, changeable weather in the mountains. But I have got live weather on. And I think what I anticipate doing really is that we're going to sort of get up into the cruise, and then I think I'm going to use a preset for the arrival into Skardu. Not because I want to have different weather to what is actually occurring at the airport, but mainly because the simulator, Microsoft Flight Sim, doesn't pull the correct METAR information into the sim for Skardu. So basically what I want to do is input the correct weather using the actual METAR. The METAR itself is not really available through the normal channels for Skardu, so you have to kind of do a little bit of digging to get the METAR for it. So therefore the sim, for whatever reason, it's not tuned into those channels, and it doesn't pick it up like it does with other sort of mainstream METARs, I suppose, if you want to call it that. So that's what we're going to do for the weather on the arrival, but we'll use live weather for the departure. And yeah, this is live weather now. We're just going to change the we've just got the time set slightly different, so we should have similar lighting conditions to what the passengers on this flight experienced this morning. But other than that, yeah, other than that, that's it. So, all right, before we go any further then, Rav, welcome to the chat from Australia. I hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. Commentator says, been really good, thanks. Hired a motorbike last couple of days, went exploring. Very good. Nice, dude. Nice little secluded beach with the bluest water I've ever seen. Very good. Yeah, that sounds lovely, dude. Yeah. Have a fantastic time anyway. And yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. Right then, chat. So, just before we go too much further here, what I'd like to just do is, as we normally do on the channel, just run through some of the information on the briefing and the OFP and things like that. So let's just run through this very, very briefly here. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I don't have a ton of time today, but yeah, we'll go through this as we sort of normally do. We'll cover the main bits. So. Flight number today is going to be Pakistan 451. Date of the flight is the 14th of September. We're going from Islamabad to Skardu. Type A320, and the registration Alpha Papa Bravo Lima Victor. Scheduled off blocks time or target off blocks time 2 a.m. UTC. And arrival time is 3:05 UTC expected. That's obviously the time in the sim though, not the current time. Cost index we're going to use is 20. Now I couldn't find the actual cost index that this airline uses for the A320, so I just went with 20, which seems sensible, I think, for obviously a legacy airline like this. So we went for that. Distance 240 miles, and we do have a little bit of a tailwind for the flight today. Takeoff weight is going to be pretty heavy, 66.4 tons, and our alternate OPLA, not sure which airport that actually is, cruising at flight level 290. Now that is, this is the normal sort of cruising altitude you'd use for this flight. As per the briefing package. Obviously you can vary that depending on the weather, which we'll have a look at a bit further down. And then we are going to step down once we get a little bit further on to flight level 275 as we begin the VFR approach into Skardu. Now, looking at the fuel itself, block fuel is going to be 8,366 kilograms. Now, that's a lot, isn't it, for just an hour's flight? However, what we're going to do on this trip is we're basically taking 90 minutes extra fuel. Now, we're not doing the return leg on this stream, but in the real world, when you would fly this flight, you would actually take the fuel for the return leg as well, because in Skardu, they don't have fueling facilities, so you need to tanker the fuel and take it in, and then, you know, fly back with the fuel that you've already got. So 90 minutes extra is probably a bit much extra, but nevertheless, that's what we're going to take. So we've got a trip fuel of just under 2 tons there, and then as you can see, the final, the reserve fuel is 3.3 kilos. So we're going to end up with a block fuel of 8.3 tons. So that's that. The routing is as per the route here. I'll actually copy that and put it in the chat if anyone wants to take that down. If anyone's following along, that is the routing. So we're going 28 right here at Islamabad on the Boban 1 Romeo departure, and then we're following out the standard routing out to Skardu. As we said earlier on, from Capmi we are going to go to VFR flight and step down to flight level 275, and then arriving at Skardu at runway 14. It's actually 14 left now. I believe they are building another runway there to facilitate international flights into Skardu. Yeah, we're going to go for 14 left, which is currently the one that's in use, I believe. We do also have a freeware scenery for Skardu. It's very, very basic, but it just adds that extra runway and then updates the layout a bit, so it's not auto-gen, if you like. Oh, if you're wondering as well, I forgot to say, we're using the Simarc scenery for Islamabad, which is very, very nice. Very underrated scenery, I find. Right, so coming further down then, we've got a full remit of passengers, 162 passengers and 1.5 kilos of cargo as well. So very, very full on this flight. Let's just have a look then. So, let's see. Just looking at the operational impacts here, see if it's actually going to change anything in terms of the fuel required. So, flight level change, up 1 flight level will use slightly less fuel. And going down, we'll use slightly more fuel. So I think we'll stay at our current flight level. If we go above flight level 290, we're actually going to be leaving the radar control zone that we want to be in for this flight. So, although whilst we could do that, let's just go with flight level 290. We've got plenty of extra fuel. Now, I might be wrong about that. Let me just check here. So, we'll bring up the high en route VFR map and we'll just check the airspace here. Oh. Okay, so there's no upper limit actually. It appears. Yeah. No upper limit. Right, okay. I thought there was previously, but it turns out there isn't. So, yeah, we might as well go up to flight level 300 just to use a bit less fuel. Why not? Right, okay. So, carrying on down then, looking at... I'm just taking a quick look at the winds here. I mean, we could go even higher and use even less fuel. Because there's even stronger winds up there, but I don't think we want to go too high because of obviously the visual maneuvering we have to do at a later stage. So we'll go flight level 300. Weather itself looks okay. Weather at Islamabad, nothing too crazy. We do have a bit of haze, but light winds and nothing too crazy. Winds at Skardu, again calm, which is good for us. 7 kilometers of visibility. Cloudy, few clouds at 4,000 feet and scattered at flight level, at 10,000 feet above aerodrome level. So yeah, not looking too bad. It is very, very cold though, as you can see, -1 degrees. And the dew point is actually -2 as well. So these figures being quite close together, we could have potential for low visibility on the approach. And then for our alternate, which is Allama Iqbal International, weather looks fine, really. Nothing too much to worry about there. Right. Now then, NSC here is not something I've come across before, but let's just have a quick look on here. Oh, no significant cloud. Okay, so not really something that you see too often, but that's that. Fine. Okie dokes. So that's that, and then we can close the OFP there. And we'll just have a quick look at the charts and maps here. There shouldn't be anything on here, which there isn't. You can see our routing there. Nothing on the significant weather chart, and you can see we've got that sort of tailwind for most of the trip. Then, as you can see, the terrain profile getting very, very extreme over towards Skardu. All right, so that's the briefing. We'll continue with the chart briefing once we get a little bit further on. If anyone wants to join as well, by the way, we are on multiplayer today for the first time in a while. So if you want to join along on multiplayer, we're not flying on VATSIM today because there's just no one on. So we'll fly on multiplayer if you want to join. It is great fun. All I would ask is if you do fly along, try keep some separation. That'd be really, really cool of you if you could do that. Right. Okie dokes, then let's get rolling. So I'm just going to make sure my control profiles are set properly because we did fly the 737 on the last stream. So we'll do a bit of that. And then we'll change this profile to the Fenix. Fenix. There we go. Lovely. Right then, chat. Let's get rolling. So the aircraft is completely cold and dark at this moment in time. And we do have GSX. There should be some walkers in here. Oh, there they are. Lovely. Yeah, I put a few walkers in here earlier. Now, I don't know if they're working properly, to be honest. Yeah, they keep getting stuck in the elevator for some reason. But, yeah, nevertheless, let's have a look from in here. Pretend we're not on board yet, and we'll go GSX, and we'll request boarding here. Ooh. Let's see, is it going to match sim brief? There we go, lovely. There we go, fantastic. Request boarding. I have customized this stand a bit. Those sounds you hear as well, part of the scenery actually. Very, very nice. Toos is joining along. Very good. Yeah, is that you next to me then? Is that you over there? There was someone over there a minute ago. Yes, there is. Yeah, SimPilot 738. Is that yourself, Toos? Shots, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. No worries at all. No worries at all. And yeah, I hope your football goes well for your kids, dude. MPS Gaming says, so what happens if you can't refuel if you need to use hold long time or wait for any aircraft to have emergency landing? Does exist alternate airports there you can refuel, you can't return flight? Well, obviously you don't refuel at Skardu. Obviously, if there's a situation where you are needing to do an emergency landing or something like that, I think probably Skardu is probably not going to be on your highest list of places to land. It's not going to be on your priority of places to land. If you have to make an emergency landing, I would imagine. And I think, obviously, if you landed there and you needed to refuel at Skardu, then it would be a case of having to... you would probably have to get some form of... I suppose you would probably have to get something flown in or something like that. I'm not really sure what the procedure would be. Because obviously there does need to be some contingency there, but I would probably think most pilots would avoid landing there if at all possible if they were in an emergency situation. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it is right in the middle of the mountains as well. If you're in an emergency, it's going to really, really leave you with very, very small amount of options. Why are the pilots not boarded yet? I found GSX sometimes does this. For some reason, it just doesn't load. It just doesn't do the procedure properly. It's so strange. Generic pilot, welcome to the chat. Scenery looks lovely. Yeah, it's a great scenery this for Islamabad. Really, really great.
Boarding requested.
Right, let's start that again anyway, and we're just going to start doing stuff. I was going to wait for the pilots to board before I actually jumped in the flight deck here, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to avoid that, unfortunately. Right, so we do have external power connected and the doors open. Right, let's do this. So we'll get batteries on and external power on. Right. Oh, I need to bring the details in from SimBrief, don't I? So let's do that. Lovely. Okay. Load aircraft. We might just be on time here. Pilots coming in. Let's pretend I'm an engineer or something and we're going to swap places. Lovely stuff. Everything's working well on the VDGS there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. There's some big problems here. It looks like they're going away though. Right, let's carry on anyway. So we'll get the adheres to nav. Okay, dokes. So let's just run through the overhead here, make sure everything is set up properly. I know I've already flicked on a few things here, but let's just do it properly this time. So I'm just going to bring the temperature down a bit, as we normally do.
Your crew has boarded.
Pack flow normal, I think, is fine. We're full on passengers today. We'll get the fuel pumps on as well, and we'll do a APU fire test. Everything good there. We're not going to check the ECAM, but we know it's good. There we go, and we can check the ECAM for this one. There we go, lovely stuff. Apparently Airbus advises you're not actually supposed to hold those down for longer than maybe, like, I think they said 6 seconds or something like that. So yeah, if we wanted to keep to that, it's just almost impossible in the sim. Right, okay, so everything else is looking good there. Everything good over here as well. Let's carry on down. So we'll set up the FCU later on. We'll take the QNH, which is 1005. Like so. 1005. We'll go airports on that side and data on this side, or constraints even. I've been flying Boeing. Turn the VOR display on for now. Going further down, let's reset this guy. Everything's good there. We'll carry on further down. And we'll leave VHF 1 on. And we'll select it on this side. That's fine. No worries there. We're going to turn down the floodlights. We'll leave transponder at 2000. Everything else is looking good there. We'll open that door as well. I'm not sure why that was closed. I'm not sure how we managed to get on the plane without having it open in the first place, but that's all good there. Right, okay, so that's initial setup okay. Just going to go into here real quick and just make sure some of the settings are correct. Right. Okie dokes. We'll leave nav and go around off. That's fine. LDev just doesn't want to seem to go off. There we go. Cool. Lovely. Right. Okie dokes. So, let's go and get the MCU set up then. Thank you very much, Arctic Turn. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okie dokes, Pakistan 451 OPIS to OPSD. Alternate Uppler, ET0037 looks all correct. Let's go in and take that. We'll go ahead and stick in a weather request as well, just to make sure we're all up to date here. We've got a preliminary load sheet which we'll accept. One 1006. Oh, it's changed now. Let's go like that. 1700 Zulu. Okay, yeah, that is more recent. That's yeah, that's fine with me. Okay, great stuff. Remember, the live time in the sim is different to the real world currently. Right, nav database is current. We'll bring in the flight plan. Flight number PIA 451. Cost index we're going to use 20, and the cruising flight level we said was going to be flight level 300. Slightly different to our flight plan there. And the temperature at flight level 300 is actually... We don't actually have the exact temperature, so I'm going to take minus 31, and the temperature on the ground is 25. Very, very high tropopause. Okay, cool. Let's bring in the wind data as well. Lovely. Right. Okay, so flight plan, we're going to be departing off runway 28 right. On the Bobam 1 Romeo departure. Let's insert that. Obviously, we'll brief the charts and we'll look at everything as we go. Arrival into Skardu. It's going to be arrival on runway 14. No start, no approach aids, no nothing at Skardu. It's just a visual approach. So that's that. What we'll also do is we'll take out the disco there. As well. That's all fine. What we'll also do is we will stick in a... we'll stick in another few fixes here. So we'll stick in... We'll actually stick in the airfield. Actually, let me just check here on the charts. Is there a nav aid on the field? I don't actually think there is any nav aids there at all. Oh, there is actually a NDB. So let's stick that one in as well. So we'll put in Sierra Delta here. This is just personal preference here. 247. There we go. So we'll stick that in there before the center fix. Like so, and then for descent planning, we're going to put 9,000 SD. We're going to stick in...
Refueling truck is on its way.
Bear with me.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
We're going to put in 170 knots here, and we're also going to put in 9,300, and that's on the descent.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Cool. Just making sure we've got everything in properly as per the proper procedure here, chat. Bireb, we want to be 210 knots and 15,000. That's in. Lovely stuff. Great. We'll stick that in like that. What we're also going to do as well, just while we're running through this process, is we'll go to the perf page here, and I'm actually going to come to the descent page here. Yeah, we'll come back to that later then. Right, so just checking for the departure itself, whether we need to put any nav aids in, which we do not. Hang on a second. Oh, catering's here, love to see it, very nice. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right. Okay, so nothing on the RadNav page needs to go in. Secondary flight plan, we'll copy active and stick in a arrival back in case we have an engine failure, which we won't, but we'll go ahead and stick it in for procedure's sake. Two 8 right, coming back in on the ILS.
To set the desired fuel quantity.
Right, that'll do for the secondary. Now then, let's see how we're doing. So we're actually loaded on fuel now, but oh, no, I do not want to do that.
Airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
But GSX wants us to set the fuel, so we're just going to round this up to 8,400. Cheers, cock. And then we shall just make sure that we do actually have minor random failures on. Yes, we do like to have that on, don't we, chat? Right, okay then. So, secondary flight plan we've done. We'll come to init B now. And I'm just going to use this side to actually select and see if we've got... Just take the figures here off the preliminary. So 58.3 and 31.3. And then a block fuel is 8,400 there. Right. Okay, so trip fuel 2.3, that's slightly more than SimBrief has calculated. Oh, it's going down. Route reserve 0.1 is fine, and that's just for the contingency. And then alternate fuel, we're going to need 2.7 tons. And then the final reserve we're going to put in as 3.4 tons there. Because we have that extra fuel for the return, which is absolutely fine. Although to be fair, we could probably put this in the route reserve. Maybe that might make more sense. So 3.3 in there, and then we'll put in. Usually we have, what do we have? 1 ton for the final reserve. Okay, that's not worked out right, has it? Oh, I'm calculating it totally wrong here, aren't I? So I stick the 2.3 in there, don't I? There we go. Sorry, 2.4. Lovely. Right, okay, that works out fine. Okay, cool. We've got the winds in already, so that's all fine as well. Lovely. Okay, so we'll do our preliminary takeoff perf as well. So we're going to go 28 right. Packs are going to be on. We'll see the preliminary and live weather. Very high V speeds here. 150, 150 and 154. Flaps 2 down 0.1. 65 of flex. That should do it. Oh, down 0.1, isn't it? Down 0.1, flaps 2. Okay, cool. Let's see if Mr. Blackbox's website is working again. Oh, it is. He's updated it, though. Fantastic. Lovely. Right. Okay, so let me just redo this. Got a new website. How fancy. Very, very nice. Right. Okay, so he doesn't have any information regarding the procedures on his website, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and just go with the default values here, which should be okay. It's 1,500 feet above aerodrome elevation, so that's absolutely fine with me. Cool. Right, now we can change this for the descent. Right. Let's see. Just got a few more things to chuck in. Okie dokes. I'm just going to set some of this initially because this approach is very non-standard. Minimums are going to be 9,300.
100 above.
We don't know the weather yet. Oh dear. Sound played then. That's interesting. Right. Sorry, I'm just looking for a bit of information here on the briefing. Right, so cap me, where are we? So cap me is where we want to go to VFR flight, so we're going to put in flight level 275 there. Right, let's insert that, and then what I want to do as well. So we want to be 250 knots below flight level 200 on this flight. Now, Let's have a look. So what we'll do is, because we are anticipated to reach flight level 199 here at Delta, we'll put in 250 knots speed through constraint there at Delta as well. Which says it's not going to make. Interesting. Surely it can make that one. Tell you what we'll do is then we'll put a bungie, we'll put 270 knots as well. Which is still not going to make, so we'll just have to intervene. Like I said, from cap B, it's going to be a visual maneuver anyway, so we can more or less play with the speed as we come down. So let's just check as well that everything looks good on the ND as well, on the arrival end. It looks good here at Islamabad. And you can see we're coming down and around. Yeah, fine. So this is a visual maneuver in this area here, but that all looks good to me. Obviously, we're not going to fly that exact track there, but yeah, all looks good. Lovely. Okie dokes. Right then, chat. So, still got a few more passengers to get on board. Let's see how we're doing. Still got another 20 to go. What I was going to do as well is I was going to do self-loading cargo as well today, chat. Just to make it a little bit more interesting. Why the heck not? Right, chat, so I'm just putting the details in on self-loading cargo so we can do that today. And basically what we'll do is we'll just do an instant board because obviously we've got pretty much all the passengers loaded already. Cool. Right. Right then, chat, so we'll go through the briefing in just a moment. I just need to nip away for 30 seconds and then we'll run through everything else. Okay, Criminal Vino, welcome to the chat from Pakistan. I hope you're doing well. Love this airport. I've never been to Skardu though. I've been to the northern areas within Pakistan. It's exciting to fly out of one airport in my country. Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's an absolutely amazing route to fly. MPS Gaming says, I hope the next Sim Update 10 will be good. Then it'll be released soon. Yeah, I think it's supposed to come either this week or next week. And then I think Phoenix might be doing a patch as well, yeah. Right. Okie doke, chat. So, we are nearly there now. Let's run through the briefing. and then we'll just make sure everything's in correctly, and then we're pretty much good to go. So we'll bring up the fuzz pad, and we're just going to have a quick look at the special procedures briefing here. Now, I'm not going to go through it all. This is a 14-page document, but we're just going to go through some of the key things we need to bear in mind for this this approach. Right, let me just go to like this. Right. Okie dokes. So, as we said earlier on, high surrounding mountains and unfriendly weather, these special procedures are needed. Due to this, we're just going to skip all the preface, and we're just going to go to some of the key facts for this this approach. So, Skardu, it's 7,316 feet above mean sea level. Runway 14 is the only runway we are permitted to use for this approach. And the transition level is 14,000 feet, or flight level 140. The minima is 1,000 feet above aerodrome level. So I'll need to adjust that. I think I actually put 2,000 feet, didn't I? And then we've got acceleration altitude at 3,000 feet above aerodrome level, which we're not going to worry about because we're not actually doing a departure out of there today. We've got a bit of information about flight planning, but we've already done the mostly the flight planning stage. We're just going to go through some of the facts that may affect our flight plan. So as you can see, we've got normal flight levels 290 up to CAPME, and then VFR thereafter, flight level 275 to Skardu. And then we also have, let's see, if you wanted to do the full flight in VMC to maintain below high clouds, you can actually do Islamabad to CAPME at flight level 175 and then down the valley at 175 as well, but we're not going to do that for this flight. Right. So weather minimums here, it can be IMC up to CAPME. Thereafter, flight to Skardu should be in VMC. VFR on top is not permitted beyond CAPME. So we need to make sure of the weather as we're coming in. But we've looked at the weather already, and it looks like it's okay. So I'm not too concerned about that. Overhead, the airfield must be VMC. Visibility must be 8 kilometers or greater. And maximum scattered clouds. Approach valley clear and partly cloudy towards Delta. Mountain hilltops visible. Fuel requirements. Fuel is not available at Skardu. So we do need to make sure we've got fuel for the return flight, which we do. Right. So having a look at the actual flight itself now, we're just going to ignore this part here because we're going to do a standard IFR departure from Islamabad. And then some of these points we can actually skip over as well because we obviously don't have ATC online for this flight, and we're not actually on VATSIM as well, so we can actually just cross over those. We will monitor our TCAS though for any conflicting air traffic because we do have multiplayer on, and weather radar is in op, so we can't actually use that in this flight unfortunately, but we can use the terrain mode for the approach. So some speeds for descent calculations we've already been through. Flight level 250 knots below flight level 200, 210 knots at Bireb and 15,000 feet, and then overhead the airfield is 170 knots and 9,300 feet, which is 2,000 feet AAL. On the descent, we're going to start the APU below flight level 250. And if the APU does not start, confirm serviceability of start cart from Skardu. Obviously, you need the APU to start your engines again when you're on the ground after you've shut them down. And then if start cart is unserviceable, divert back to Islamabad, which is not going to affect us in this case, but I just thought that was an interesting little fact. It does note here, flaps 1 may be used below flight level 200 and speed reduced for short turn radius while maneuvering initially during the descent in the Indus Valley after Bireb. And then we've got use of heading mode through the valley there, obviously when you are visual. Landing at Skardu restricted to runway 14 only with a 10 knot tailwind max after reporting overhead, which shouldn't be an issue for us as well. It looks like it's going to be calm winds today. So for the actual approach itself, after crossing Bireb, which is the Zulu Bend. Now I can actually illustrate this to you a little bit better using another briefing pack that I've got here. So yeah, this is actually a briefing pack for an ATR, but it does actually show some of the main features that it's talking about here. So you can see here, this red circle is called the Zulu Bend. This is basically the last bend into the airfield, which is kind of in this Z shape here. So that's what that is talking about. You can see the airfield down here. So, as we said, after crossing the Zulu Bend, we're going to activate the approach phase. We might do it earlier. It really depends on how well we're coming down. Skardu Tower is not going to be available, so we're just going to ignore that one. Flight level 140 is transition altitude or transition level, so we're going to set the local QNH at that point. And then we're going to plan to reach overhead the airfield at 9,300 feet with flaps 1. We're then going to be doing basically a traffic pattern at 9,300 feet. And then this is just a little bit granular here, so I'm not going to read that all out, but essentially we're going to be using heading mode to do the traffic pattern. I do also have a little sort of chart from a Just Planes video, as you can see here, which kind of just shows you the procedure. So we're going to come in from the top here, which is just where the Zulu Bend is. The Zulu Bend's up here. And then we're going to come in 9,300 feet, and we're going to basically fly this pattern around like so, onto runway 14. That's a little bit clearer there. Might be able to read that a bit better. But I'm going to have that open on my other screen there. It's got some information with regards to when to drop flaps and stuff like that for a Boeing aircraft. So I'm actually going to use that for reference like I have done before. And that is it. In case of a missed approach, we're climbing on runway heading, maintaining flaps 1. And it does say selected speed here as well. And then 9,300 feet, we basically just take a left turn to join left downwind and basically just do another circuit if we have to do a missed approach. So that's that for the arrival into Skardu. I'm briefing that now on the ground because obviously it's quite a lot to brief in the air, so I'm just going to get that done now. And then in terms of the actual departure from Islamabad, this is the 20-9 chart. We're currently here at the main terminal in the on the domestic or the northwest apron. We're at stand 24, which is just here. We're going to push back onto Mike for the pushback, and we'll take a left turn onto Papa and then to Tango for the taxi, and then another left turn onto Kilo, all the way up to runway 28 right. So following Kilo all the way up this way. I base that taxi instruction on what I saw on flight radar, so that's what we're going to do. And then we're doing the Bobam 1 Romeo departure, which is off 28 right. This is an RNAV departure. Airport elevation is 1,761 feet. Transition altitude here is 12,000 feet. This is RMP1 required. First turn is 220 knots, and then we're going to take a left turn out to the 220 track. Minimum 4,000 feet then, and then a left turn out to India Sierra 412, minimum 8,000 feet there, and then another left turn 356 track out to Bobam, minimum flight level 200 there. So fairly straightforward on the departure itself, and yeah, let's jump back in the aircraft and make sure we've got that all into the MCDO. So let's just have a look here. I'm pretty sure it was all there. IS-405 220, that's fine, and then IS-412 8000, which will be well above 8,000 at that point, and then Bobam flight level 200, which is also going to be fine. We're going to be at cruising flight level before we even get to the the end of the departure route here. Okay, let's see how the boarding's doing. Aircraft is loaded. Lovely stuff. Righto, righto, right. Let's see, is GSX still doing its thing? It looks like it is. I'm not sure how many more people it's got to go. But hopefully that all makes sense, guys. If you've got any questions, please do feel free to let me know. So we'll set our initial cruise, our initial climb. We'll set it to 12,000, which seems sensible. We should also have our final load sheet as well, which we do. 58.3 and 31.3. I think that is exactly what we put in previous. Yeah, it is. Beautiful. Okay, so we don't need to do any recalculations there. Lovely. Right. It looks like we're getting towards the end of the boarding process, though, so we'll get the APU on. Seatbelt signs should be on as well at this point. Right. Okie dokes. Everything you put in, I do it as well. Yeah, do it, dude. Do it, dude. I mean, this is a proper way to fly this flight. If you want to get that full immersion level up, then yeah, definitely do it. Vipers Racing, welcome to the chat. Let's see. I'm not sure what you're asking there, Vipers Racing. I don't know if you can rephrase that for me. I'm not sure exactly what it is you're asking there. Looks like we're nearly done with the boarding. Jared Pilot says, I saw Sam Chewy's video on Skardu. Absolutely amazing approach. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? It's absolutely unreal. At Bireb, do you have to be at 15,000 feet or below? Let me just double check. I completely forgotten already. I would say 15,000 feet. Or I would just say exactly at 15,000 feet or above, I would say. But if you have to be above, but 15,000 feet would be the required altitude, I would say. But if you're above, is probably better than being below due to all the terrain. I wish there was a way to see how many more passengers there are to board for GSX. Oh, Discord's making some sounds. Ricky, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right. Yeah. I really wish I knew how many more people are about to come on. Honestly. Let's say prepare for pushback and departure. Let's see what happens. We've got this big tug here as well. I feel like this tug is just far too big for the A320. It actually collides with the model itself. It's pretty gross, actually. What is going on with the path here? It seems to be moving on its own. Alright, anyways, let's do our pre-flight checklist. So, cockpit preparation, gear pins and covers are removed, fuel quantity is 8.4 tons, seatbelt signs are on, ADIRs are in nav, which we can check here. MARF is set to 1006. 1, 2, 3 times. Pre-flight checklist complete. Now then, does it actually say in the log here how many more people are left to board? Why does it say here stopped infinite generation of passengers? That's kind of worrying. It should be done now, surely. I actually did a bit of testing with this to try and see if I could get the times to work a bit better with regards to syncing the AFB up with the actual animations themselves. And I did a bit of testing, and I seemed to get it so that it would sync up, but it doesn't seem to have worked that well this time for whatever reason. Let's reset the chrono anyway, and we'll get the APU bleed on and get some cooler air coming in, because it is quite toasty in here. Can we just cancel boarding passengers and leave the other guys behind? Yeah, I suppose this is the only issue with GSX really that I've noticed. It just seems to delay things. Anyways, we'll just restart GSX so we can push back, because this is taking the PISS. How much was the minimum fuel required? 2 times the trip fuel. Sorry, you would take your normal minimum fuel for the flight, and then yeah, and then the same again essentially. I've got 8.4 tons in total. Right. Oh, beautiful. We've got a better tug this time. Lovely. Okie doke. So the doors are now closed. Jetway's moving out. Okie dokes. Let's get the GPU disconnected and the chocks and cones out of the way. Parking brake is set.
Departure check completed.
Close this door here. Get the transponder to on. Bear with me. Just making sure the other camera is going to work for you guys when we get to it. Right, we are going to go nose to the right.
Release parking brakes.
Okie dokes. Parking brake is released.
All engines clear. Start at will.
All engines are clear. You are actually, a fun fact about Islamabad that I read earlier on the charts. You are actually allowed to start one engine on stand before you push, which we obviously didn't do, but nevertheless. Engine mode selected to ignition start. we could do with doing the before start checklist as well, really. Parking brake is not set. Takeoff speeds and thrust 50, 50, 54, 65 degrees of flex. Windows are closed and the beacon light is on. Before start checklist complete. So engine 2 starts. Oh, no, it's not going to get us on the line, is it? Come on, GSX. All right.
Set parking brakes.
Engine 2 is available. Parking brake is set. Let's reset that chrono there. And we shall go for a start on engine number 1. Lovely. Slightly higher idle than normal. Alright, engine 1 is available. Lovely stuff. We'll tell the ground crew they can now disconnect.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine.
Lovely stuff. Okay, let's restart the chrono there, and engine mode selector can go to normal. We shall arm the ground spoilers. We'll set the trim down at 0.1 is what we want. And we'll cross-check that on the lower ECAM there. Down 0.1 is what we wanted. There we go. Lovely stuff. Okie dokes. Everything else is looking good up here. Auto brake can go to max. Coming up above. APU bleed off and APU master off as well. That's all looking good. Lovely stuff. So, oh, beautiful. Careful, careful. Right, after start checklist, anti-ice not required. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim is down at 0.1. Rudder trim is neutral. After start checklist complete. We'll do our flight controls check as well whilst we're here. We'll set our flaps to 2. Alright, ailerons, full left, full right, and back to neutral. Full up, full down on the elevator and back to neutral. Full left on the rudder, full right. I'm just going to do full left again. There we go, and back to neutral. Lovely. Right, right. Okie dokes. Let's go, chat. We'll get our lights on. Actually remembered for once. Parking brake is released. Let's go. Well, Sim Update 10 scheduled for this week. Yes, and I'm not actually sure that it's been unscheduled yet. I think it is possibly still arriving this week. I'm not 100% sure though. Thank you very much, Toos. Much appreciated. You're going to enjoy this one, dude. Probably a little bit fast for this turn here. A bit sporty, as they might say. Right, so taxi checklist. Flight controls are checked. Flap setting is config 2. Radar and predictive wind shear are in operative. Engine mode selector is in norm, and the ECAM memo takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist complete. We're going to take a left turn here. Not here, sorry, second left. And then follow it down to 28 right. Very, very hazy here in Islamabad. I must try and remember to get the get a recording of the landing here at Skardu. I don't think I've ever remembered to do it since we've flown into here a couple of times on the stream, I think, but I just don't think I've ever remembered to actually record a replay. Oh, generic pilot is here. Amazing. It looks like he's descending. Or is he climbing? I think he's climbing out. Is he doing this in a 787? That would be rather interesting. Yeah, so Sim Update 10, I'm not sure what the deal with that is at the moment, to be quite honest with you, chats, because NVIDIA is supposed to be releasing a driver update in order for the Sim Update 10 to be released, or at least for people to be able to use DirectX 12 on it. So, yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what's happening with that just yet. Also, guys, I'm also using a little mod from flightsim.to that I found, which basically adds some more splats of dirt onto the windscreen here, as you can see, looking pretty dirty. I think it actually removes the scrapes as well. Oh no, they're still there, but yeah, looking a bit more dirty here, which is quite cool. I don't really like the way that it's mirrored across the two panes, but nevertheless, it does look pretty good. That's on flightsim.to by a user called More Right Rudder. You may remember we did a video on the channel about his mod for the CRJ, which had a bunch of improved textures for the CRJ. Now, I've just realised I've not uncaged the standby horizon here. Bit of a mission to this runway here, but we'll get there, chat. We'll get there. Don't you worry. Get a bit of speed on. Right, here we go. We'll get our TCAS on. We'll say seats for boarding. Sorry, seats for takeoff. Okie doke. So, lineup checklist. Takeoff runway is runway 28 right. That is confirmed. TCAS is TARA. Packs 1 and 2 are on. Lineup checklist complete. Let's get the strobes on now as we're entering the runway. There we go. Cabin crew is seated. Which runway is generic pilot on there? He's on the other runway. Oh, he was landing. Okay, fair dues. Right, we're looking clear. Not a bad lineup, I don't think. Not perfect. Not the best. Right. Okay then. So holding it on the toe brakes. Chat. Here we go. Let's get some togas in chat. Let's go. Throttles up to 50%. Of course, get the landing lights on. Because I always remember that, don't I? Throttles up to 50%. We are stable. Toe brakes released and up to flex. Man flex 65 SRS runway auto thrust below. $100 knots. V1 rotates. Nav, positive rates. Gear up. Lovely. Alright, coming up to lever climb here. Oops, I brought the thrust levers too far back there. Thrust, climb, climb. Auto thrust. All right, we're above the S speed. Let's go to flaps 1. And approaching the S speed, positive speed trend, flaps to 0. Yeah, still feeling a bit sensitive with these new springs, though, I do have to say, chat. I am purposefully hand flying this, though, so it gets me used to using it, so I can decide whether I actually want to keep these springs or not, because they are... It does make it feel a lot more sensitive. Alright, let's get the speed brakes disarmed and the nose lights can come off. Very nice views indeed. Speed's getting a bit high, just pulling the nose up now, following the flight director still. Woof! Thank you for the togas in chat, by the way, guys. Appreciate it. If you become a channel member, there is a toga emote as well. Still just manually flying here, chat. I'll catch up with the messages once we get underway. Oh, speed brakes. Oh, I must have extended them by accident there. There we go. Alright, flight level 100. AP2. Get the landing lights off and seatbelt signs can come off now. We'll speak to the cabin. Well, we won't speak to the cabin. We'll just release the cabin. And we'll get some alcoholic drinks on the way for you guys. Or maybe some non-alcoholic spirits, I don't know. Probably non-alcoholic in this part of the world, I'm going to hazard a guess. And we'll keep climbing, flight level 300. We'll pull for open climb. For the delay there, we'll set the altimeters to standard. Oh, there's 2 in here. I didn't even notice that second one. Right, lovely stuff. Okie dokes, we're looking good, chat. We are looking good. That was a pretty nice departure, I do have to say. Lovely view of Islamabad down there. All right, lovely stuff. George Chadwick says, do I know what happened to AvGeek09? I'm not sure who AvGeek09 is off the top of my head, I'm afraid. George, apologies if I should know who he is, but not off the top of my head, I'm afraid. Let's see. Alcoholic is not allowed, please. Non-alcoholic drinks. Yeah, that's why I said probably non-alcoholic drinks in this part of the world. Criminal, yeah. Yeah, I realised that as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're in a part of the world that probably would not appreciate that. So, yeah. ETA generic pilot is going to be in just under an hour. It's quite a short flight. So we're going to be 3:16 UTC time. It's going to be in about 40 minutes. Lovely. I was going to buy the Himalaya mesh for this chat, but I didn't feel it necessary because we generally spend most of the time looking at the instruments anyway. A little airport down there as well. Very good. Flying over the city of Islamabad. Got a user on multiplayer down there. What is going on down there? It looks very strange from this distance. I don't know what that aircraft that is actually. CC-19? Music's probably a bit loud there, isn't it, chats? Very nice views, though. Love to see it. Wonder which river this is. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. Maybe I can find out here on SimToolkit. Always nice to know the geography. Let's see. It's called Nalalay, the river down there. In case you're wondering. Very difficult to read on this map, but it's there. I think that's the name of it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Beautiful. Looking forward to this approach, chat. It is going to be spicy. I'm probably going to mess it up, let's face it, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm as prepared as I can be, I think. Weather's looking nice ahead. This is live weather as well, guys, so yeah, really looks fine, to be honest. I'm not even seeing any clouds in the distance, which is good. What we'll do is, like I said, once we get to flight level 300, I'm going to just grab the meta for Skardu off a separate website, which actually has the meta. Now, one thing I will say is that they don't update. I think they stopped doing the meta after a certain time, so we're just going to have to take the most recent meta for Skardu. And we'll have a look at that. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll set the weather based on the meta information, because we, yeah, like I say, the sim doesn't pick up the proper meta information for Skardu, so I can demonstrate that here. If I go to meta and then come down to Skardu, which is not even on the list at the moment, but like I said, it doesn't, just, you have to trust me on this one, it doesn't pick it up, so we'll have to, yeah, we'll put it in as a weather preset once we get to flight level 300 here. As you can see, there's not really any high-level clouds, so we don't need to worry about that. We can just put in the cloud information from the meta, which is few clouds at 4,000 feet, and that's it. 4,000 feet above aerodrome level, that is. Do I think the jet blast in the Phoenix is a bit too strong? Oh, look at that. Beauty. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. That's lovely, isn't it, chat? Very nice indeed. Do I think the jet blast is too strong? I'm assuming you mean the heat blur effect that comes out the back. Probably a bit too strong, actually, now you say it, but I don't know. I've not been on an A320 in quite a while, so I can't really remember, to be quite honest. Maybe a bit, I don't know. The reason why they do not take METAR because there's no night ops at Skardu. Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, so the current METAR at Skardu was taken 35 minutes ago. Wind is calm. Visibility 6,000. Now I'm not sure how we're going to put the visibility in on the weather on here. I don't think you can. I don't think there is actually a visibility slider, unfortunately. But we'll do what we can. Few clouds at 4,000 feet, which is going to be 11,200 feet. 15 degrees temperature and 9 degrees dew point. QNH is 1017 and relative humidity 66%, which again it's going to be difficult to put in, but we'll work it out as best as we can do. Now, the visibility minima is actually right on, I think the visibility minima was 8 kilometers, wasn't it? It is actually 8 kilometers. Now, we've got visibility is 6 kilometers here at the moment at Skardu. So, I'm still happy to go with it, to be quite honest, because in the sim, I don't think we're going to be able to set the weather conditions up perfect. And I can guarantee once we get over there that the live weather would even, the 6,000 kilometers would not be depicted either. So we're just going to go with it. I don't really want to divert after doing all of the build up here, but I think we'll be absolutely fine. Right, okay then, chat. So we're doing well. We haven't even got to Bobam yet, and we're at almost at flight level 300. So let's just set our destination data now. Let's just get a little bit ahead of the curve. So QNH at Skardu 1017. Temperature is 15 degrees. Wind is calm. Transition flight level 140, we already set that, that's fine. And we're going to do a config full landing. Minimums is actually 1,000 feet above aerodrome level, so we can actually change this to 8,300 feet. And what we'll do as well is we'll come into here, we'll do a bit of landing performance calculations as well. So our estimated fuel on board at destination 6.3 tons, so we're going to use approximately another 0.6 tons, which is going to make our gross weight 64.6 tons. Right, and the weather is wind is calm. Temperature, like we said, is 15 degrees. The QNH 1017 hectopascals. We can probably get away with low auto rate, to be honest. Now then, wind we'll just put as like that. Yeah, so we can easily get away with a low auto brake here. The runway at Skardu is very, very long because of the elevation of the airport. Obviously, it needs a very, very long runway for aircraft that are departing. It can take a very, very long takeoff roll due to obviously the thinner air and lower, excuse me, and the higher potential pressure altitude. So, yeah, very long runway at Skardu. We don't even need. We'll go for idle reverse. Auto thrust we'll leave on. I think that'll do it, to be honest, chat. We might even go auto thrust off just for a bit more spice. Right. Beautiful. Here we go then, chat. Let's have a look at where we are. So, what I'll try and do as well is I'll try and copy in some of the winds from the OFP into the weather here. So we've got weather that sort of resembles kind of a relatively realistic picture. So let's go and turn live weather off then. That's caused a big problem for us, but nevertheless, we'll let it rectify itself. Right, so QNH is 1017. The temperature, mean sea level, is going to be 17. Was it 17? It was 15, wasn't it? 15. QNH 1017, that's fine. Relative humidity was 66%, so we'll put this to about like that. Not sure if that's going to really work perfectly. We'll put a little bit of snow in because I know there has been some snow recently over in this area of the world. And then the clouds, wind, we can put at 0 for the destination. For ground level, should I say. Clouds, we want 4,000 feet above aerodrome level, so we'll set this like so, something like that. And then scatter clouds is going to be something like that, I would imagine. Something like that. And that's all the clouds that are reported, really. We could put in just some really high level clouds as well, just for effect. And then we'll stick in another wind layer as well. So on the OFP, we'll add in wind. How do I change the elevation? There we go. Winds at flight level 3. 10. We'll put 242 37 knots. We'll turn the gust to off because that's going to cause us many issues. We'll add another wind layer as well. Where did that just add it? Right. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll bring this down to flight level 200. 201 at 17. Oh, this is in kilometers per hour. God damn it. I'm not converting it all. Then we'll do flight level 100. 199 at 2 knots. Why is this in kilometers per hour? That's so strange. Anyway, that's set. Right, lovely. Let's see how it looks out the window now. Fairly similar, actually, just obviously with clouds. So it's not too bad, actually. Not too bad. Right. So we do need to step down to flight level 275 at CapMe. CapMe is going to be the point where we go visual, basically. No Pappy Lights at Skardu. Yes, indeed, Criminal Vino. We have flown into here a couple of times before on the stream. So yeah, I'm fairly familiar with it, I suppose. Oh wow, what is that turbulence though? Is that something to do with what I've set incorrectly here? Let's see. The gusts are not on, so we shouldn't be getting any gusting winds. Let's take the seatbelt signs on anyway for your safety, chats, because yeah, I don't want you bumping your head now, do we? Okie dokes. So we'll initially start down on the descent using the managed mode. We'll let that bring us down. Did I set... Excuse me, did I set a restriction here? I did. Lovely stuff. Okay. So yeah, we'll initially start down on a managed mode, and then we'll just kind of sort of play it by ear as we come a little bit further down, really. So getting ready to start the descent now. It looks like that is, I believe that is Nanga Parbat over there in the clouds. One of the 8,000 meter peaks. I think K2 is also somewhere over in the distance over there. Possibly this one right here. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Obviously the second highest mountain in the world. Right. We'll stick all on for the TCAS just because of this, how special this approach is, let's say. Yeah, it's unfortunate how the satellite imagery sort of blends with the snow in certain areas. But never mind. $40 miles to the top of descent. What we'll do is we'll go and stick in OPSD as well. 14 left. So only 80 miles away from the airfield here. In a straight line. Clem, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Right. I mean, I think we can safely say that we do have good visual conditions in order to descend on down. The valley itself is looking a little bit questionable, to be honest. Can we actually contact the airport? No, we can't. See, in real life, you'd obviously be able to contact the airport, and then you'd be able to make the decision as to whether you would actually descend overhead the airport or whether you would descend down the valley here. Let's start down anyway to 275 initially. So we'll descend in manage. So Des, it does look a bit questionable down there though. Oh dear, oh dear. I think we are going to come below these clouds though, aren't we actually? Because these are at 11,000. Yeah, we're going to descend below them, aren't we? So we should be fine, I think. Let's set 25, actually. It's going to remind me to start the APU. If you remember, we'll have to start the APU at below flight level 250. And we do want to be 250 knots at Delta. We're initially going to fly on in nav mode initially, and then we'll start using heading mode once we get a little bit further down. Are we ready for this, chat? Are we ready? This is great down below though. This terrain looks absolutely spectacular, doesn't it? So much detail to it. Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? Right, let's make sure I start the replay though this time, because I always forget to do it. We're going to record the full procedure. I've started the replay now, chat. This is where we're going, chat. We're going down this valley here. All the way down, this way, this way, this way, and then the Zulu Bend is just, I believe, this ridge coming down here. We'll go to 20,000 now as we're approaching flight level 250. Do I have a scenery for Skardu? I've got a freeware, yes, but it doesn't really add too much, really. It's more just the layout of the airport, really. We do have a company message. Let's just have a quick look. Probably for being slightly late. It is ADC for 16 minutes. You know what we do here, chat. Actually, no, let's blame GSX on this one. Let's do that. Right, so below flight level 275, this is all a visual maneuver from here on in, chat. If you remember, so we are doing this visually. Now, it's probably a bit of a risk coming straight over here, following the airway. So we're just going to have to gauge this visually here and make sure that we don't fly into the terrain. So hazy though, so hazy. And I told a lie before. This is not the valley we're going for. This is the valley we're going for, just behind here. Right, so let's keep the descent coming. We'll put 15,000 in, and we're going to start the APU now. So APU on. APU starts. Now we're just going to have to gauge our altitude here, because obviously we've got to cross this ridge here before we just actually get into the valley itself. So we're just going to sort of gauge this and hopefully see that we can cross it. We're approaching Delta, 250 knots at Delta. Now, we're basically almost at 250 knots anyway due to the Fenix having excessive amounts of drag. So, absolutely no issues at all there. I mean, it's actually 250 knots below flight level 200, so... whichever is first, really. Well, no, it's not. It's flight level 200 or below. Right, here we are then, chat. Look at this, though. Absolutely incredible. Yes. Oh. Oh. What is the live weather like, guys? You'll have to let me know. Look at this, though. Absolutely nutty. Right. So from this point, chat, I am going to go to heading mode. We're going to go speed 250 knots. And we're going to go heading. And we're going to do this visually from here on in. As you can see, very, very high terrain in front of us. I don't really want to rely on nav mode to do this. I think what I would quite like to do as well, chat, is probably come here. And I'm actually going to go for approach phase already. That is very bright down there, isn't it? And we're actually going to come to manage speed. I want to just try and keep the speed down a bit here. And Probably get flaps 1 out as well. Absolutely incredible. Whoa. That is a shot though right there. That. Holy. Right, so we've reverted to VS 1300 here, which is fine with me because, yeah, that's fine. We're going to actually decrease that rate of descent a bit to help us slow down on the speeds. So we are getting quite low now, I won't lie. You can see we are a little bit below profile, which is not great, but also we are doing this visually. Let's bring that heading left a bit. We do have a tailwind as well, which is going to hinder our descent performance. Low auto brake is what we wanted as well, so we'll select that. Right, cool. We're at pretty much green dot speed. Let's go to flaps 1. And we'll let the aircraft fly at the S speeds. Just to kind of help us with these turns, so we're a little bit tighter. How's the live weather for you guys? How's it looking? Does it look similar to this or no? Right. Let's increase the rate of descent now. Nothing too crazy though. Just gonna go for somewhere just under 3 degrees. This doesn't feel safe. I've got to trust the process. Yep. It really doesn't, does it? It's super unnerving. I'm just going to turn the sim sound up for you guys. Just so you got it. Right then, chats. So this doesn't look familiar, this ridge right here, to be honest, from last time I flew this, but I'm just going to go with it. We're at flight level 170. We're actually probably a bit lower than we need to be honest. 25 miles to go. We need to be level at 9.3 once we get through here. So I'm actually going to reduce our rate of descent a bit. So we've only got 7,000 feet to descend. And we've got 22 miles to the runway itself. So, yeah. Let's decrease that rate of descent. Just get a little bit more separation between the mountains here and the aircraft. At Bireb, we wanted to be at flight level 150 and 210 knots, which we are going to make the speed restriction quite clearly. And then flight level 150, which we should be fine on as well, so no issues at all there. These mountains are causing so much turbulence. Right, there we go, chat. There's Skardu Valley. Don't want to cut it in too tight here. We do have this quite high ridge that we are descending into. So I'm not going to cut it too tight there, just for safety. And then let's go ahead and turn ourselves now. Ho, baby. Wow. Oh dear. Got a GPWS warning there. That's fine. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn that off for this. Right, we're going to keep going down on the altitude. We'll go 12,000 for now. Probably took that turn a little bit too wide there. Got distracted with the passenger views. Right, remember we are doing this visually, chat. So let's take that left turn now. Probably don't need to turn quite that much there, actually. Let's try there. And then once we get nicely aligned with the valley down there, I'm actually going to go to open descent down to 9,300. There we go. Okay, so pull for open descent, thrust idle open descent. We are definitely a bit high now, unfortunately. Let's go to the local altimeter setting, which is 1017. And there's the airport. Lovely stuff. Are we ready for this, chat? Are we ready? Are we ready? Right, okay. Approach checklist then. Approach checklist. Bar F set 1017, both sides. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums are 8,300 feet. That is set. Auto brake is low. Engine mode selector is normal. Approach checklist complete. We got the lights on. Here we go, chats. Here we bloody go. I keep switching this knob too quickly. It's the speed of it is it's pretty crazy. Cutting a bit of fine there, maybe. Are you ready, chats? Let's get some fuzz focus emotes in the chat, if you remember. Right, okay, so we're overhead. What I'm actually going to set up here is a radial in here for the final approach. Not that this is going to help us a great deal, but yeah, we can try it. Coming down nicely on altitude. We've got plenty of time left. We're passing overhead the airfield now. There's the 2 runways. There's a 3rd old runway as well. This is the airport terminal. I think there, actually. This is where we're going to park. Just here. Right. Radial in for the runway. It's runway 14, isn't it? So we'll go for 3, 2, 0. And we'll select insert and we'll pull the heading immediately. Right, 2,500 is checked. Speed is also checked. Let's go to flaps 2 and gear down. Here we go, chat. Here we go. Oh, I've spanned the heading far too far again. We need to be coming back round that way, over there. Oh, no, we don't. We need to keep going round. Getting disoriented here, chat. Need to keep it coming. Keep it coming all the way around. So we're basically down this side of the valley here. Look at that river flowing here. The River Indus, I believe it is. Looks so, so cool. Speed, alt. We're looking good, chat. We're looking good. Let's arm the spoilers as well. Not quite as good downwind turn as I did last time we flew in here, but nevertheless, I'm going to take it. Oh, my extended centerline has disappeared. Don't really have time for that now, and yeah, the fixed info page has disappeared as well. Okay, never mind. Definitely took that turn a bit too wide there. A little bit sloppy, I will have to say. But I think we've just about recovered it. Visual manoeuvring. There's the airport. Let's go to flaps 3. Very, very high thrust setting. Right then, chat, I think I'm going to fly it manually from here because I kind of want to get a feel for this the joystick here, because it is new springs. So let's do this thing. Autopilot is disconnected. We'll get the flight directors off as well, and we'll get the bird on. Just trying to maintain level flight just until we pass this ridge here. Right, flaps 4. Let's start down. Right, let's go left. Full 30 degrees of bank required here, I think. After we've completed the turn, we should be about 800 feet above ground level.
1,000.
Bit fast on the rate of descent there. Make sure the turn's still coming in. Let's have a look at where we are in relation to the airfield. We're looking good actually on the turn. Going for 1-4 left, remember. So the left-hand side runway.
Minimum.
Bit too quick there on the rate of descent.
1,000.
1,000 is checked, so we're not too bad on altitude, maybe a little bit high. So I'm going to keep that rate of descent going. Let's get the auto thrust out now. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like these new springs, chat, to be honest. It feels a bit strange. Minimums we already had the call out for. Let's continue. 500 feet is checked. We are a bit high here. Very long runway though, bear in mind. Let's still try and get touchdown zone though.
100.
Yeah, a bit low now.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5, retard.
Oh my god. What is going on? What is going on? Why is it doing that? What? Oh, well, that was anticlimactic, wasn't it? Oh my days. I think Chris reminded me of this. Chris, if you're watching, is this what you were talking about? Oh my god, what just happened? Wow. Okay. Well, we're down.
Retard.
We're down. Wow, okay. I mean, I feel like that was actually an okay landing other than that. We definitely came down a little bit quicker than what I was anticipating there, but it wasn't too bad. Let's have a look. See if you guys can guess the landing rate in the chat. But we should have a nice little replay of that to come. Tokyo Drift landing, yeah, it properly was, wasn't it? Yeah, a little bit of yeah, that was strange that. I've never, maybe I have had that happen before in the Phoenix, I can't remember. But, nevertheless. Not the most enjoyable thing. Sim pilot there doing his left turn, beautiful. Yeah, I'm not sure on the on these springs for this joystick, chat. I'm going to blame those for the slightly skew with approach. Oh, what's going on? The aircraft doesn't want to move now. There we go. Okay, I need to get off the runway for our friend here. 900 feet per minute. Oh, that's a little bit harsh, I can't lie. That is a little bit harsh. Generic pilots coming in as well. Love to see it. Has it got a contrail as well? Right, we'll get the flaps up anyway, and the speed brakes disarmed. We'll come down and get the TCAS turned off. I've already got the APU started, as we know. Get the landing lights retracted as well and off. Right. Where is the apron here? I actually forget. Is that it? There it is. Yeah. Right. We'll just backtrack on this second runway here, as I'm hoping they don't land on it, but yep, we'll land. We'll backtrack here and then come down to the runway. Sorry, the apron. Well, parking area, should I say? We'll get the rudder trim reset as well. Okie dokes, just got back. How did the landing go? Chris, I just mentioned your name after we touched down. I was like, is this what Chris told me about earlier on? Yeah, it's sliding all over the place. It was very strange. Right, we could use GSX though, can't we? So let's go for parking. Parking 1. Yeah, I'm interested to see how far down the touchdown zone I was as well there, to be honest. I feel like it was quite decent, actually, but We shall see. Right, let's get the taxi lights off and the runway turn-off lights off. After landing checklist we didn't do, but radar and predictive wind shear are inoperative, so that is the landing checklist complete already. Now, obviously no center line here. Let's do our best here, though. Following the marshal guidance. There we go. Parker brake is set. APU is already on. Let's go and turn both of the engines off here. Lovely stuff. APU bleed on. Beacon light can come off. We'll turn the fuel pumps off as well. We'll reset the GPS, GPWS as well, and seatbelt signs can come off as well. Lovely stuff. Let's request a deboarding.
The boarding requested.
All right, landing rate predictions in the chat, please. Let's see what you guys think. Right. I'm not going to show self-loading cargo yet because it will show the landing rate. The GSX is pretty cool at this airport, though. I mean, I'm guessing they don't have cargo trains like this at Skardu, but nevertheless. In fact, I know they don't because I've seen it on some videos. But I'm guessing they don't have. I'm guessing they don't have catering either. And look at the bus just spawning right next to us there.
Passengers, the boarding started.
Such a cool airport to land at, though, I do have to say. The passengers coming off now, or? Hello? Are you there? Oh, there we go. Here they come. Oh, is generic pilot going around? It's a go around, boys. Suppose we can turn off the APU. Oh, external power on, and I'll turn the APU on. Beautiful. Strobes are still on. Oops, did not see that. Right then, chat. Landing rate predictions. Let's see. Let's see. So, let's bring up SimToolkit first of all, because that has obviously the best landing rates, the best landing reports out of in the land. TUS was hard, very good. I mean, that's quite normal here, to be honest with you. It always feels like you get a bit of a rough landing. But nevertheless, let's have a look on the fuzz pad then. We'll bring up SimToolkitPro. So we've got 256 feet per minute, 155 knots. So I was a bit quick, actually, coming in there. I didn't actually take the throttle off till pretty much till we touched down, to be honest. That's probably why it was a little bit ropey. And then the initial touchdown was actually... basically just well, right at the start of the runway, more or less, just after the threshold there. So before the actual first marker on the runway there. So very, very early on the runway there. Now, what I will say about that, though, chat, is that I have seen videos of aircraft landing here in the A320, and they do tend to come in a bit lower over here than you would do at a normal airport, because there's very few obstacles to really worry about coming in here. And obviously you're flying visually the whole way down here, so you might as well just transition to, you know, the same thing coming in here, so you don't necessarily have to coming at an exact 3 degrees. So I think that's fairly excusable. Centerline deviation 6.2 feet, so I'm pretty happy with that as well, to be honest. I think what we could have done though, chat, is I probably could have flared a bit earlier and a bit heavier as well. Let's just stop the replay actually as well while we're here. And then yeah, I could have probably got a bit of a smoother touchdown there, and that's about it really. But everything other than that, I think pretty good on the landing. Self-loading cargo is saying similar sort of story, 232 feet per minute, so really, really not bad at all, I don't think. Passengers are happy. Well, no, they're not really. Let's deboard them instantly and see what they have to say. C plus 15% satisfied. We were delayed on departure, delayed on arrival, and there was, yeah, I taxied on the grass apparently. I don't recall doing that, but it might be something to do with this scenery. Never mind, self-loading cargo definitely is in a desperate need of an update. Let's see, is generic pilot on his way? Or has he given up? I hope he hasn't given up. What is going on with these passengers? They're moonwalking again. Have you given up, generic pilot? Oh, you're trying again. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. So yeah, not too bad of a landing. Probably not the best landing I've done here, but probably not the worst, to be honest. Let's see then. Can we have a look at generic pilot's landing? That is a question. I'm not sure if you can lock onto multiplayer aircraft with the drone camera. Let's try it. Oh, we can. Where is he? There he is. Not entirely certain why it's giving you that livery, but nevertheless. Oh, God. Oh, a different livery now. Oh, look at the contrail there. Sorry, I'm just getting used to these controls here. I don't really use these. Don't really use the drone camera to do this much. Where is he? There he is. We'll get to him before the landing, chat, I promise. Here we are. That's more like it. Perhaps looking a little bit low there. Yeah, very low. Very, very low, actually. You should be about 9,300 feet at this point. Oh, maybe not. I mean, I would probably say at least 8,000 now. Not sure why there's a contrail constantly behind you, though. All eyes on you, generic pilot. No pressure. Idle thrust and touchdown. There we go. Lovely. Nicely done, dude. Nicely done. I think that's completely screwed up GSX, to be honest, unless they've actually finished doing the loading. All right, chat. Let's have a look at the replay then. Who wants to see the replay? Let's do it, shall we? Right, Fenix application. Let's go for ready. What do you guys think to the approach anyway, though? It's great fun, isn't it? It's very, very difficult, but it's good fun. Wait, how is this guy still here? I've quit GSX, or is this just a default guy? Right then, chat. I'm going to position the camera first of all before we start the replay. Oh, there's someone else here as well, I think. Oh, there's generic pilot. It's still on the runway. Fair enough. Right, so let's just position the camera over here. I think it'd be quite interesting to watch it from down here. Rotation speed is so quick. Holy crap. There we go. That's a bit better. There we go. Lovely. Right. So, let's do this thing. Not sure what's going on with the sound here. You guys probably will remember though that why does the sound like this? Let me see if I can fix it real quick. Hang on. No, maybe not. What about if I go? No, not sure what's going on there. I'll just keep the sound turned down. Let's see, can we see us? Not just yet, a little bit far out. I would really like to see our plane right now, but it doesn't seem to want to... Not loading in yet, is it? There it is. Going a bit quick. There we go. Let's go back to normal speed. Look at that. That's so cool, isn't it? It really gives you an idea of scale, I think, when you watch it from down here. Because when you're up there in the flight deck, honestly, it feels like you're super close to the terrain, doesn't it? But when you look at it from down here, you're like so actually very far away from it. Per Johnson's back with more jokes. Well, I hope they're good jokes, dude. Thank you very much, Lior. Thank you, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's just speed the... Let's put the speed a little bit higher. Just so I can get to the juicy stuff, obviously. Obviously. There we are. Here we go. And that's where I flew it a little bit wide. Right, here we go then, chat. So this is the final turn here. Can just about make us out there. Looking like we're about to fly into the mountains. That far away. It's not too bad, really. First time landing here, next time I'll make a proper flight plan. Yeah, it's definitely worth it, dude. Definitely worth it. We've gone out of render distance again. Right, I'm going to have to speed it up again because we've gone out of render distance. There we are. You can see us making the final turn there. A little bit, definitely overshot it there. To be honest, I was constantly overcorrecting on the center line because, again, probably because of these new springs I've got in my joystick. I'm going to blame that. And we're probably going to touch down about here, aren't we, chat? From what we looked at on SimToolkitPro, provided the scenery is correct. Here we go, chat. Let's go. Very low over the touchdown zone. Sorry, over the pianos. And down there. Oh, yeah, what happened there? Holy. It just went crazy, didn't it? It just went all over the place. Oh, so I did taxi on the grass then. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, let's see that from a little bit closer then. Right. Oh, yes. Look at this, though, chats. Holy. That is a shot. God damn. DK, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. Yeah, so I landed with both main gears down there. One of the left gear came up slightly, but then all of a sudden it just started going absolutely crazy as soon as the nose gear came down. Yeah, really not sure what happened there. Very strange. Let's try a slightly different view so we can kind of see what happens a bit better. Let's do 50% speed and let's see what happens. So both gears touch down. Left gear comes up slightly, comes back down. There's a little bit of a weird thing that happens there with the pitch of the aircraft. I'm not sure if that was me inputting that or not. It probably was, wasn't it? So if you see, I'm in a flare here. I'm flaring, still pulling back for some reason, and then I pulled back even still as the nose wheel started after the main gears touched. So I don't know if that had something to do with the fact that it just lost all lateral control, but yeah, I'm not sure on that one, to be honest. All over the place, absolutely wilding over here, proper drifting. I mean, other than that, it wasn't the worst landing in the world, was it really? Definitely a bit fast though. Must have not been checking my speed enough. Look at those flaps shaking. Oof. Oh, generic pilot, you don't have the scenery. Oh, I see. That's why you're on the runway. I see. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, chat. Absolute scenes, though. Look at this, though. Brilliant. Very nice. Right then, chat. Well, I'm going to leave you with the passenger view coming in here. I think the left side's going to be your best bet, I think. Here we go. Right then, chat. I'm going to wrap it up. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed today. That is going to be all from me. We might do the return leg to this in a stream in the very near future, because the departure out of here is really quite also very, very interesting, to be honest. So we'll probably have to have a look at that at some point. Hope you guys have enjoyed as ever, guys. I hope you have a fantastic evening. Fantastic Wednesday evening. I forgot what day it was then for a minute, but yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Next stream now is probably not going to be till next week, but do keep an eye on my posts, and I will obviously update you on that. Nevertheless, thank you so much. Have a fantastic evening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.